Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm going to be telling you my TBR for Spookathon. I'm not really into massively spooky books, but there's a few books that have come out recently, a few books that I've noticed on my shelf that do fit the prompt for this, and maybe are a bit more on the thriller side than the spooky side, but I think that's okay. I really enjoy the look of the prompts for this, so I'm looking forward to taking part. I don't think I've taken part before. It's run by Books and Lala, and it is from the 14th to the 20th of October. So the first challenge is to read a thriller, and for that I've picked a book up from the library that I've had on my wish list for a while, and it's The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. So this is about a group of friends. It's Hogmanay. I believe it's set in Scotland, and there's this group of friends. They're in this sort of house celebrating Hogmanay, and they're just realising that now all these sort of years have gone by since they've been friends and they haven't got much in common. There's some sort of mystery from their past. And then I believe a dead body shows up in the snow outside, and they're sort of on lockdown and no one can leave, not even the killer. There's a killer among them, and I'm sure it's all going to unravel. And I just love this sort of idea. I love the idea of books that are set in sort of one place where everyone's trapped, the killer's in there. It gives me that sort of Poirot, Agatha Christie vibe, and I really hope it's going to be a good one. So I've borrowed this from the library, so I will be reading that for my thriller. For my book with red on the cover, I'm going to go for this one. It's The Rumour by Leslie Cara. It says on the front, one of us is capable of murder and one of us has killed before. So I think this is going to be a little bit thrillerish, maybe spooky. It's about a single mum. She hears a rumour at the school gates. She doesn't really mean to pass it on, but she makes a casual comment, and I think sort of things maybe get out of control. It says on the back, a throwaway remark, there's a killer among us. It's all it takes. She stabbed little Robbie Harris to change a life. She's living under a new name forever. She's reformed, so they say. So I think this is going to be exciting. Paula Hawkins, who wrote The Girl on the Train, has said keeps you guessing until the final page, and that's what I really love about a good thriller. So this is my one with red on the cover because I've got The Rumour written in red. The next challenge is to read a book with a spooky word in the title. I've gone for this one, which is In the Skin of a Monster by Catherine Barker. I've had this on my shelf for ages. I don't think it's necessarily particularly spooky, but I think it's definitely got that sort of dark element to it. It's got the spooky monster word in the title. This is about a girl called Alice who 3 years previous, her identical twin sister took a gun to school and killed 7 innocent children. And now obviously, being her identical twin sister, people find it very difficult to see Alice, even though she isn't her sister, out and about. And then it says, when Alice encounters her sister on a deserted highway, bad is just the beginning. She finds herself trapped in a dangerous new reality, a broken world that's filled with nightmares of everyone in the community. I think this is going to sound... This sounds interesting. Melina Marchetta has said one of the most original novels I've read for a while. So I think it's going to be quite thrilling, and I'm looking forward to this one. The next one is a book with a spooky setting. I got this recommendation from Leanne at Literary Diversions, and this is Rachel Kane's Still House Lake. I believe that maybe she's not so keen on some of the other books in the series, but this is the first in sort of a series or a trilogy, or I think it's a series, and it's about a woman, a regular housewife with 2 children, and then this car accident reveals that her husband was secretly a serial killer, and then she has to sort of change her life, and her ex is in prison, and she goes to this remote lake house for them to live, and I think it gets creepy from there on in. And I always find lakes and this sort of idea of a remote lake house, or somewhere, a house in a remote location with water nearby, very eerie and atmospheric and spooky. So this one sounds perfect for this challenge. Next one is a book that you wouldn't normally read. I've had this one on my shelf for ages, and it is one that I would not normally pick up. It's a very interesting genre. It's historical. It's set in the 50s, which again is not something that I tend to read too much of. It's called Seas of Snow by Carenza Jennings. This is also maybe involving child abuse, which is something I tend to steer away from, like being a mum and stuff, just find it a little bit difficult. It says 1950s England, 5-year-old Gracie Scott lives with her mam and next door to her best friend Billy. An only child, she's never known her da. When her Uncle Joe moves in, his physical abuse of Gracie's mother starts almost immediately, but when his attentions wander to Gracie, an even more sinister pattern of behaviour begins. As Gracie grows older, she finds solace and liberation in books, poetry and her enduring friendship with Billy. Together they escape into the poetic fairy tale worlds of their imagination. But will fairy tales be enough to save Gracie from Uncle Joe's psychopathic behaviour, and how far will it go? So I think this sounds dark, thrilling, perfect for this sort of spookathon sort of theme, and I think it's going to be hit or miss, we'll see. But those are the books that I'm going to be reading for Spookathon. I'm really excited. I'm really pleased that I've managed to find books that were already on my shelf. You know, no book buying for this one. And yeah, if you're doing Spookathon, let me know down below what you're reading, and I really look forward to letting you know how I get on with these and letting you know if I'm scared and can't leave the house after I finish them. Anyway, that's it from me, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.